Hi students, how are you all? Yes, today we are going to see how the pressure, concentration, temperature and then inert gas affect the equilibrium. So first already we have finished pressure as well as concentration. Today we are going to see temperature, effect of temperature on equilibrium reaction. So how the temperature is affect the equilibrium reaction. So definitely by increase the temperature it may takes place forward reaction as well as reverse reaction. After attaining equilibrium they may have the both forward and reverse reaction becoming equal rate. Yes, we we will take some example. For example, nitrogen hydrogen on combination it will give ammonia formation reaction, right? So for this forward reaction we will get minus 92.02 kilojoule mole inverse delta H value. Why sir particularly we are writing delta H value here? Because if you know the delta H value we can come to know the forward reaction is whether endothermic or exothermic. Forward reaction given the minus delta H value, so that is an exothermic reaction. When the forward reaction in equilibrium is exothermic reaction, definitely reverse reaction becoming endothermic. Now you may ask, sir, what is exothermic? See, exothermic means when the reaction is carried out, the heat will be liberated. So heat energy will liberate. That reactions are called exothermic reaction. Opposite, endothermic reaction. Endothermic means what? If you apply the heat, it is applied, then only the reaction will proceed. Okay, so based on the endothermic and exothermic only we can tell or explain how the temperature is affecting the equilibrium reaction. Yes, so we are clear with the forward reaction is exothermic reaction. In this reaction if you increase the temperature, what will happen? Endothermic reaction will proceed. Which one is endothermic? Reverse reaction is the endothermic reaction. So decomposition of NH3 to nitrogen hydrogen will form. Okay. Reverse reaction will take place. So decomposition of NH3 to nitrogen and hydrogen will form. Suppose I am reducing the temperature. What will happen? Forward reaction will take place. So based on the exothermic endothermic we can explain the forward reverse reaction or effect of temperature in the equilibrium reaction. Yes, next to that we can understand concentration and pressure will not change anything in the equilibrium constant value, but this effect of temperature will change the equilibrium constant Kc value, right? Keep in your mind, it may be Kc or Kp. Equilibrium constant will be changed because of increase in the temperature. Now the effect of catalyst. What do you mean catalyst? It is used to increase the speed of reaction or decrease the speed of reaction, right? Sir, it will use to decrease also. Yes, catalyst can used for increase the rate or as well decrease the rate. Okay, so catalyst means it may increase the speed of increase the rate of forward reaction as well reverse reaction. So if you apply catalyst it will help to increase the rate of forward as well as reverse, so very quickly we can get the equilibrium. Okay, the reaction will attain the equilibrium with a short time, but by adding the catalyst, we may not have any particular change. So we can say does not change anything in the equilibrium by adding catalyst. Okay, clear? Yes, the last one, by applying inert gas. See, inert gas. Inert gas means what? It will not react with anything easily. So, by addition of inert gas in the equilibrium, definitely it will not react with reactant as well as product. Okay, right. But you should remember it is the gas. So, gas means it may increase the pressure. So, because of addition of inert gas, it may increase the pressure. But it will not affect the partial pressure of reactants are as well product. So partial pressures of reactant product becoming same means we cannot say it changes something in the equilibrium reaction. So in that case also no effect on the equilibrium reaction. Yes. Then we are going to see some mathematical derivation in the name of want half equation. So by using the equilibrium constant and delta G, what is delta G? Free energy. Okay. So free energy change delta G is equal to minus ln K. Ln means natural logarithm is also multiplied with the RT ln K. Okay, equation 1. This equation you can apply delta G value. What is delta G value? We already studied in thermodynamics. Delta G is equal to delta H plus RT minus d delta S. First we will apply. Okay. Delta G also equal to delta H minus d delta S. Equation 2. So both first and second we have similar group or similar things in the right hand side. So you can equal first and second. So delta X minus d delta S is equal to minus RT ln K. But we know very well delta H value is nothing but delta U plus RT. What is the delta U value? Delta H value. You must apply the delta H value. Here we need not to apply. Later we will apply. So take it the same equation. Now modify the equation into ln K. So you keep it minus ln K. Then RT will come this side. Delta X minus divided by RT minus T delta S divided by RT. T will cancel. If you multiply the minus inside, minus plus. So what is the next equation? Ln K is equal to minus delta X divided by RT plus delta S divided by R. Okay. This equation we can differentiate. Differentiation. So if you differentiate, what will happen? Differentiation of ln K divided by with respect to temperature, not this T, capital T. Okay, with respect to temperature we have to differentiate. So what will happen? Delta H minus delta H by RT. Delta H and R, everything constant. You can take it out. So differentiation of 1 by T. What will happen? That 1 by T will give minus 1 by T square. So this minus will be cancelled. So 1 by T square will give. Okay, keep it in your mind. 1 by T will give minus 1 by T square. Already we had 1 minus. So minus becoming plus. So the final equation delta H by RT square. The same we are going to integrate with respect to K1, K2, T1, T2. Right? For K1, temperature T1, K2, T2. So if you integrate, what will happen? Integration d of ln K divided by temperature T1 to T2 is equal to delta H as well or constant. So integration of here K1 K2 because with respect to equilibrium constant. Here only T1 T2 1 by T square. We know very well what is that. You just bring this, sorry, that T you bring this side. So what will happen? dt will come. So 1 by T square if you integrated, what will happen? The same, minus 1 by T, because already we have seen, 1 by T becoming minus 1 by T square. Now T square becoming minus 1 by T. The same. Integration and differentiations are vice versa. Okay. So what will be the next step? The T squared. So if you differentiate here, learn K, limit we have to apply K1, K2 is equal to delta H R. Then 1 by T square becoming minus 1 by T. Limits you have to apply T1, T2. Now you just apply the limits. Learn K2 minus ln K1 is equal to delta H divided by R. The place of T, first apply 1 by T2 plus 1 by T1. Right? So if you cross multiply, learn K2 divided by K1, because log A minus log B, delta X divided by R, T1 minus T1 plus T2 divided by T1 T2. So always the minus term you can write next. So T2 minus T1. Okay. Now we can apply the natural logarithm value. What is that? 2.303 log K2 divided by K1 is equal to delta H divided by R. Here T2 minus T1 divided by T1 T2. This constant value you can bring it here. So this is the final Van 't Hoff equation. By using that we can find different K value at a different temperature. Thank you.